I love Lord of the Mysteries, but finishing Volume 2 left me with this deeply mixed up and down feeling. Volume 1 was honestly the boring one for me, that slow Tingan city setup, with all the foundational world building and slice of life vibes dragged hard. Volume 2 felt like a clear upgrade, more movement in Backland, deeper conspiracies, tarot club growth, spirit world explorations, and higher stakes overall. It was far better paced and more engaging than Vol 1. Yet even with that improvement, it was still a boring experience overall for long stretches. I have to be honest, most parts of it were very boring. Very. It still remains one of the most boring pieces of fiction I have consumed, even if it's a noticeable step up from the first volume. The narrative often felt constricted, like it was grinding through investigations, layered setups, and lore drops while the tension stayed flat for extended periods. Even the spirit world and dream sequences, which had massive potential, sometimes felt more like intricate puzzles than gripping storytelling. It isn't as elegantly layered or psychologically deep as the Brothers Karamazov, nor does it match the raw, unrelenting drive and clever escalation of Fang Yuan's journey in reverent insanity. The effort of the writer is right there on the page, visible and sometimes desperate, like Cuttlefish that loves diving was juggling a massive amount of threads on a tight web novel schedule. Still, I have to give credit where it's due. The world building in this series is unparalleled type shit. The way Cuttlefish constructs this vast, intricate cosmology with its beyonder pathways, hidden histories, ancient conspiracies, spirit world layers, and the lingering scars of the cataclysm feels next level. The city of silver trapped in eternal lightning and darkness. The forsaken land of the gods. The subtle and not so subtle machinations of higher powers. It's all so meticulously structured and immersive on a conceptual level. The atmosphere, the Victorian steampunk occult elegance, the way everything interconnects like a grand, foggy mystery machine. That's the kind of ambition that keeps me hooked despite the slower stretches. The prose itself is beautiful, with that poetic cadence that makes even routine descriptions feel rich and atmospheric. I genuinely appreciate those strengths. They make the whole thing feel special and rewarding in its scope. What stands out in the middle of all that unmatched world building is how the religion aspect weaves in. On one hand, it's genuinely good, structural, functional, and often atmospheric. The churches, the rituals, and the way faith ties into the pathways create a cohesive system that serves the horror and the plot. The city of silver arcs, with their isolated, cursed society clinging to hope amid kin-slaying curses and divine absence, carry a tragic beauty. I respect how Cuttlefish turns faith into both a shield and a vulnerability in this cruel, indifferent universe. It's great guesswork at showing how religion might function when miracles are quantifiable and gods feel distant or corrupted. But when it pulls directly from Christianity, it often feels more funny or like unintentional mockery than intense and unique. That screenshot quote from chapter 398 hits it perfectly. God's grace knows no bounds. We are not the abandoned, but instead the beloved chosen ones. Without the Lord bearing our sins and shedding blood in our stead, the city of silver would have been destroyed long ago. Humans would have long ceased to exist. It's loaded with familiar atonement theology, substitutionary sacrifice, boundless grace, chosen people rhetoric delivered with straight-faced sincerity. The upside-down cross imagery and true creator motifs make the parallels even more blatant. Similar moments appear with Aurora Order zealots, Derek's prayers, and Backland church politics. Because the lore already reveals the messy, fallible, scheming reality behind these gods, the earnest sermons clash in a way that tips into parody for me. The borrowing stays too close to the real-world template, making the religion feel constructed and surface level rather than a deeply innovative fictional system or existentially raw. Compared to the Brothers Karamazov, where faith and doubt bleed from the characters' bones, Ivan's tormented rebellion, the Grand Inquisitor's chilling pragmatism, Alyosha's quiet devotion amid suffering LOTM's version feels more intellectual and mechanical. Dostoevsky makes you feel the terrifying reality of confronting a silent or cruel god. Here, the monologues serve the lore and plot, hinting at ancient events, advancing pathways, building irony for Klein's lens, but they rarely reach that bone-deep intensity. The desperate writing vibe probably comes from balancing all that unmatched world building with mystery payoffs and thematic layers. That said, what truly saves the volume and gives it that peak cinema vibe are the conclusions of both Volume 1 and Volume 2. Even with how boring many of the preceding events felt, especially the bulk of Vol 1 and the slower stretches in Vol 2, those ending stretches hit different. They deliver powerful payoffs, emotional resonance, tragic ironies, and sudden surges of momentum that make everything click. The way the arcs wrap up, with their revelations and grand escalations, feels cinematic and rewarding. It's like the slow build finally ignites, turning the earlier grind into something almost worth it. Those strong conclusions carry a weight and intensity that the middle sections often lack, reminding me why I'm still invested despite the frustrations. Overall, Volume 2 is great for what it is. An ambitious web novel with unparalleled world building, elegant prose, and intricate plotting that rewards patience. It's a solid upgrade from Volume 1, even if it didn't fully escape the boredom for me. It's not trying to be Dostoevsky-level human tragedy, and that's fine. It has its own strengths in atmosphere and cosmic scope. The little nuances, the earnest religious delivery clashing with lore irony, the heavy borrowing without enough reinvention, make the faith elements feel structural, but not as immersive as they could be for me. Still, I love enough of the whole package, the unmatched world building, the beautiful language, the escalating mysteries, and especially those peak conclusions to keep going. The flaws highlight the visible effort, but they don't erase the beauty that's there. In the end, Cuttlefish poured a lot into this volume, and that earnest struggle is part of what makes Lord of the Mysteries so engaging, even when parts feel like a boring grind I had to push through.